So we are here with my guest, good friend, best friend, childhood friend.
Yes.
We go way back. We're talking what? We're 20 years in.
Over 20 years.
Over 20 years. Best man at my wedding. This is take two. We'll let people know. This is actually take three. For those who don't know, this is my man Dom. I am Dom, the notorious one from the
It Doesn't Matter podcast.
Boom.
You guys got to check out the show to see the boom.
Yeah, to see the boom. So for those who don't know, we tried this the first time. We had such good flow, good conversation. And it was virtual. He wasn't here. And it took about 45 minutes to an hour. And when we were at like the last segment of the show, I said, yo. And you're like, what? I said, I'm not recording. I was heartbroken because this is me at the peak excitement of my starting the podcasting and trying to, figure out the flow of interviewing and whatnot. And we did it again, shortly after, but just for listeners to know, this is going to go live. I'm going to put this out there. This will be a bonus episode. It'll be an early bonus episode because I'm going to be planning to do 1 week. So anyway, so Dom, you guys just over a year for your podcast. So just do a quick introduction. Like I said, my man Dom, I am Dom from It Doesn't Matter podcast. He's a big Braves fan, Lakers fan, and Falcons fan.
Can't forget them.
I feel like every year you do ever since that Patriots collapse in
2017?
2017. That seems like yesterday, bro.
It does.
It's 2024. It's 7 years ago.
Yeah.
It's wild.
28-3.
But yeah, just, quick concept about my show. Ideally, what I'm doing is I'm interviewing people, giving them a platform to talk about pretty much anything that they want. And give them an opportunity to, hey, listen, this has worked for me. This hasn't worked for me. This is what I've learned along the way. That's why I named it Your Platform. So today will be about you, your platform. I think we'll have a little bit of banter that goes back and forth because we've done this before. So let's just jump right into it. I'm excited for baseball season. I'm not gonna talk about your Braves anymore. The last two times we did this, I was hyping up your Braves. But since we're about a week into games at spring training, the Yanks look good, bro.
They do.
The Yanks look good. Have you been following the Braves?
I just maintain the scores and see what's good.
It doesn't matter what you think.
You got me there. Yep, you got me there.
Because I said I wasn't going to talk about the Braves. But baseball, man, this time of year is always fun, right? I get to the point, once November ends, the World Series ends, the Yankees haven't been in the World Series, and they haven't, they made playoffs and whatever. But I get to a point where I'm like, man, I'm over baseball. But come like February, I'm like, here we go. Yep. We had a glimpse of spring last week. I was outside ready, like hitting baseballs in my backyard, throwing baseballs into the net. And you start feeling like, all right, I'm ready for the season. What are you most excited about right now?
I can't wait for opening day. I really can't wait. Like, I work outdoors and I'm in the parks department maintaining my parks and my schools and whatnot. And when I had like that nice 50-degree weather and a nice breeze, like, man, I can't wait to, be out there, watching the game. And I wish I was out there shagging fly balls and all stuff like that.
How many games do you think you could watch this year? Like, again, it's hard, right? I mean, it's gotten easier with the timer, with the new rules and whatnot. But it can get, a little redundant, a little mundane, especially when your team's either, on a cold streak or whatever. But would you say over 100 you could probably watch?
I'll say probably about 100 because my schedule is a little busy with wrestling during the week.
That's right. That's right. In your own show.
Yes.
And whatnot. Yeah, man, I probably can do, last year was rough. I don't give up. I haven't given up on a Yankees team since 2003 Game 7 against the Red Sox. Wow. You know what happened that game?
What happened?
They won.
Oh.
They won. It was Aaron Boone who hit the walk-off home run off of Tim Wakefield. Rest in peace.
R.I.P.
Yeah, sad. And he he hit that game winner. I had went to bed. I remember I was young. I was young and very emotional, which you know that about me. I'm an emotional individual. But I remember, I think the Red Sox went up somewhere like 4-5-0. And I remember yelling, "I'm not watching this in game," and turned the TV off and went to bed. And my neighbors upstairs, I don't know if you remember Johnny. And when I lived on Grand Street, I mean, we might have not met by then. Yeah, we had to have.
Grand Street?
On Grand Street.
Nah, I
you
don't-
remember? You don't remember when I lived on Grand Street?
I
No.
remember Lincoln and Cutler.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So when I lived on Grand Street, I had neighbors upstairs, and I heard like they were big Yankee fans. Actually, this is the first time I ever went to Yankee Stadium with them, and they're yelling, screaming, "Whoa!" And I'm like, "What happened?" I turned the TV on. They won. But last year, so this is last year was like, man, this is they went 82-80. I'm not used to that. I'm not used to that, and it was rough. So I'm excited just because it's it's baseball, man. You get to go to the games.
Yes.
And I want to see a couple parks this year. I think we could do like a day trip. Have you been to Camden Yards?
No, I haven't. I did maybe about 15 ballparks.
You've done 15.
Yes.
What are they?
I went to Boston, Fenway, or Boston, Yankee.
And to watch a game.
To watch the game,
Yeah.
I went to Atlanta, SunTrust. I went to when it was
Truist.
Turner Field.
Oh,
as well.
Turner.
Yep.
Yeah. Was that the same spot? No, different spot. Yeah,
different stadium. Yeah. I went to Philly. I went to Washington. I went to Houston. Went to Chicago White Sox, Chicago Cubs. I went to, let's see, the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
I was out there. I went to Milwaukee.
You went to Milwaukee.
Nice. Milwaukee's real nice.
Was it closed or open?
It was open.
Yeah.
But it closed because the clouds start coming in.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, like the retractable roof, it was just so damn quiet. Like, you didn't even know.
You didn't even mention Miami.
Yep.
Bro,
to Miami.
That Miami. So we've been to Miami a couple of times for baseball games. And we watched, I think, so the first time the Nationals we watched, it was Marlins Nationals. I can't remember the other team. Maybe it was obviously a National League team because they didn't have the inter-league or the way the schedule is now.
Yeah.
And they had all of maybe 5,000, 10,000 people there where we were able to kind of, navigate.
If that.
Right. Bro, Venice, so they did the Caribbean series there, which Dave did some research after the fact. He was like, "Oh, I thought this was the national teams because they were wearing what looked like the national uniforms."
Yeah.
And he was like, "But this is just it's like a championship league. It's the champions in that country of their league. So let's just say, the Yankees win the World Series, they would represent USA. And then they have whatever in those countries. So they have Venezuela, Cuba, whatever. So most of these guys aren't, pretty much no one was active MLB players, either former or professionals in those countries. The atmosphere.
Live.
I have never been at an environment like that. And I, been Fenway, Yankee Stadium. When I say fans were rooting for their teams when they were down 5-0 and like excited when a pitcher struck out a batter or guy got on base late in the game and they're still, it was insane. I don't know if you saw the video of me that I shared of, I just did like a kind of panoramic video and it was live, bro. I never seen anything like it.
I can imagine.
So, so Miami. Did we miss any other stadiums? That?
Oh man, I was outside of the Rangers. I need to go back down there.
Yeah.
I haven't been inside.
So you're halfway there, man.
I'm halfway.
You're halfway there. So you're gonna get it.
Yeah,
you're gonna get it. Yeah. So I'll do mine, and then we'll go into some of the content that I wanted to touch base on. So I'll do mine. I've been to Yankee, obviously, 1,000 times.
Yep.
Old Yankee as well.
Yep.
Which Man, I love that place. Fenway for baseball.
City Field.
City Field.
Shea Stadium I went to as
I've never
well.
been to Shea.
Okay.
I've never been to Shea. Obviously the Marlins.
Yep.
Bro, I'm weak. I'm weak, man. I don't think there's anything else that I've gone to in the sense of
You didn't do
stadium.
Philly?
No,
No?
unfortunately, I have friends there that live there. So we eventually I'll do Philly. I could have done DC, but I had a whole debacle with that. I had tickets that I had to give away for free. I would have loved to go to St. Louis, but hello,
Yeah.
we went here in the winter. And then I'm going to Chicago this summer for work, so I'll definitely check out. It's the South Side, so I'm going to check out the White Sox. And that's it. I think. I don't think. I think that's it.
All right. Yeah, you got.
I got a long way to go. I got a long way to go. So this summer, if possible, if not this summer, maybe next, I would like to check out at least Camden Yards and go up to DC and check out that ballpark. Those tickets weren't expensive.
Cheap.
Anyway, so let's talk.
Let's
The
talk.
podcasting journey, because you guys are still going strong, and I love it, man. I would say getting into this podcasting and stuff like that, I see why you guys are like. I mean, you see me. Look at this. We got look at everything around here, right? Talk to me about it, man. What are some takeaways? What's some learning lessons? I know, we can talk about the whole iPad and stuff, but what do you what are you guys learning along the way?
Just keep bringing new content. That's it. Like, we know what we're going to discuss, and we don't have no notes. We just go with the flow, and it took a while for the chemistry to develop for all three of us. But
yeah, I think I said it last time. Is the development of Abel, man. It's like a rising star in the WWE. And I listened to a little bit of I was on my way to work when you sent the No Way Out podcast, and it's just so funny to hear him, because it sounds like it's something he's really passionate about.
Yeah. It just started out as
the Dominican dream.
We used to be on the back of the garbage truck, and we just talk about wrestling.
You guys would just hours,
just talking about scenarios and stuff from the past and stuff that's going on right now. And then I think it was like when the pandemic happened, I'm like, why don't we just put this on camera? And then a little after the pandemic, it finally happened. So
you guys, I think you guys could take it to some heights, man. And I'm curious to know, like, when you think about podcasting, what are some moments that keep you guys in line, or this is why we do this? Like, when you think about, so you got your live shows, you've had several live shows.
We had 2 live shows, and we got 2 more approaching.
What's the other one again?
The Blue Duck.
The
Blue Duck.
Oh, Blue Duck.
We're going back to the Blue Duck.
When?
March.
Not St. Patty's Day? That would be dope, bro. He's not gonna let that happen.
Nah. We're going March 12th, Tuesday the 12th, and Horsepower the 13th.
What do you guys got lined up in terms of content for that?
We haven't discussed the Blue Duck yet, but for Horsepower, we're gonna talk about WrestleMania 3. WrestleMania 3, everybody know that,
because that's right. WrestleMania is that following week.
WrestleMania is the first weekend of April.
Are those guys wrestling fans? The Horsepower guys, or no?
They like old school. They just started putting it on YouTube and whatnot. And I walked in, smoked a cigar, and the dude see my shirt, had Macho Man Randy Savage on my shirt. Yeah. He's like, "Oh, we've been watching wrestling." And I was like, "Yeah, we do a podcast. You should do it here." I'm like, "All right."
Are they advertising for you there?
Yeah, they've been advertising.
Bro,
too.
That might be packed. You might get. I'm gonna have to show up for that one.
Yeah, so we're gonna see.
That could be a really, really good episode. When you come up with topics, right? Because there's stuff that you bring up, and I think last time you said you run it. You give the 5 or 6 different options to Jon and Abel.
Yeah.
What's your connection to those topics? Because I feel like you can't just be like, "Oh, I'm gonna talk about," you might have, but I'm just saying.
In the beginning, we just used to talk about what was going on in present day, but a lot of people now our age, they don't follow today's product. So we
Right.
stopped with that, and then it finally took a while. And then we went to the nostalgic act. We
Yeah.
started talking about like the old Attitude Era shows and
Yeah.
whatnot, because that's our demographic right there.
Yeah.
From 28 to like 40, whatever. That's
Yeah.
like Attitude Era. So basically, like I know March. March is WrestleMania season. All right, so like the whole month we could talk about all WrestleMania stuff. Like we just recorded WrestleMania 20. Next week we're gonna talk about the streak. If you don't know what the streak is,
I know what the streak is. Don't play me. Don't play me.
We're gonna talk about all his we're gonna talk about from his first.
Are you
win.
going to talk about all his matches in that? That should be like a 2-hour episode.
We're gonna talk about 21 matches.
That's gonna be a long episode.
It's gonna be a long episode.
Let's go.
It's gonna be a long.
That's gonna be a fun one.
Yes, it might be a little challenging for me because I want more. We're not gonna just talk about the match. I want to tell you how they got to the match. I'm gonna do my research.
So just do maybe do like a part 1, part 2 then.
Nah, I'm going all out.
It's gonna be like a 4-hour episode then.
I'm going all out.
That's gonna be a good one. So for me, I guess the question that I had asked, it seems like you connected your content is based off of connections of your fandom of so, and I think, am I wrong to say that? So I guess not wrong, but your top 3 wrestlers are probably, let me just throw it out there. And I might be wrong because obviously Rock.
Yep, number 1.
Taker.
Mine personally?
Yeah.
Yeah, Taker's definitely 1.
Okay. And I'm gonna give you my third one here. I feel like it should be this person, but it won't be because big rival of The Rock. So I'm gonna go with Shawn Michaels.
Not mainly for me.
Huh?
Not for me.
Okay. Give me one more chance. So I give you 2. John Cena?
Nah.
No.
For me, if you want to take it back to
Bret Hart.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought so.
Yeah,
all right.
Bret. So if you want to go to like the golden era, that's the Hogan, Savage, Flair, that era right there. Then you got like the new generation, which is like Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Diesel, Psycho Sid, Owen Hart. You got them guys. Then you got the Attitude Era, which is Triple H, The Rock, Stone Cold.
Yeah.
So it all depends how you look at it.
I don't know why my memory's like so bad. I was talking to my sister about some just stuff from like the past earlier today, and I just like I remember I remember certain stuff, but I wish I had your memory when it comes to wrestling because I loved it. I mean, I watched a lot of it, and today I was doing just some more research for this so we could talk a little bit more wrestling stuff, and so you got the Attitude Era. And then you got the Ruthless Aggression after that.
Yes, that's John Cena's era right there.
And then you got the PG era right after that. Like which is pretty much current right now. That's
when I kind of faded out.
Yeah. What brought you back in? Because it seems I feel like I remember when you faded out.
Yeah, because after that PG era, it was from 2008 to like 2010 or so, I want to say, and I don't know. It was just
that was when
goofy things, man. They just made no sense because WWE at the time had no competition.
Yeah, that was the SmackDown versus Raw, when that first came out, right? So it's interesting because Abel had mentioned how certain matches were like gimmicks.
Yeah,
and he had mentioned that the intergender matches, right?
Yeah,
intergender.
You're talking about Shaniqua and the Bashams.
Was this back then, or this was recent?
This was 2004.
Oh, so that's back then. It's 20 years ago. That's a long time ago. So this was, I remember the intergender matches. I agree. That's not looking back at it. It's like that's kind of like why. But he also had mentioned that I think it was on this. This, or maybe I just came across it. The handicap matches don't happen as much as they used to.
Not as much.
Do they happen?
Not really.
Other than WWE 2K?
2K, that's about it. You don't really see it.
Which is
Abel said in the podcast that you don't really see triple threat matches as much anymore. You don't see fatal four ways as much anymore. So
wow. I feel like if they had a fatal 4-way between and just guys that I just would throw out there because I don't follow, but even now that The Rock is back, could you imagine a fatal 4-way between Rock, Roman, Cody, and you throw out a fourth wrestler there,
Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins? How epic of a match would that be?
That would be. Who would get the win?
If I'm going to guess, so let's just say, again, this is me, and I think what took me out from wrestling was that it became too predictable, and that's like I get the as an entertainment aspect of it, and maybe when I was watching it, like that was like the struggle of the product, and it probably changed, but it would all depend, and I'm just using that predictive mindset that I had, is it depends like who the champion is. So if it's still Roman, I would assume Roman's going to win. If it was Cody, I would assume Rock would probably win, and then somehow Rock and Roman come back or fight against each other. Or these are just storylines that I would kind of come up with.
All right. Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
So this upcoming WrestleMania, your main event for night 2 in Philadelphia, is Roman Reigns, your Universal Champion, going against Cody Rhodes for the second time back-to-back at WrestleMania.
Okay.
Cody won the Rumble last year, and he won it again this year. So he chose Roman Reigns again. Which
I still think is wild that The Rock is just even involved in any of this. So ask the question, because I'll give you what I think. Again, my predictive, because I don't watch, I'll give you my...
Cody came back to the WWE. He said he wanted to finish his story. Basically, his story is he wanted to win the title that his father, Dusty Rhodes, had never held before. Do you think Cody Rhodes is going to win the title this year at WrestleMania?
Based off of my...
from what I just told you.
Based off of my prediction, I think no. And the only reason why I think no is because if his message is, I want to finish my story, well, then what? But then what?
Well, here's the thing.
Hold on. You know, if he's finishing his story, he's just going to run off with the belt and never come back. So I think he's going to lose. And I think that's what's going to continue that storyline. Has he been a champion? You know, that's the whole thing, right?
No, never a heavyweight champion.
He's been around for so long that his window of opportunity, he's probably late 30s, early 40s?
He's like 35 or something, 36.
He's my age or age?
Yeah.
So his window of opportunity, because Roman's been champion for about, you said 1,000 days?
Over 1,000 days.
So that's over 3 years.
Yeah.
Okay. I can't see, again, from a predictive standpoint, I'm not following storylines. This is just me thinking. I can't see them putting him in a position to win unless he's going to then just be champion for the next 3 or 4 years. My opinion.
I was going to also say that if if he retains his title, if he holds the belt to September, he passed Hulk Hogan's record, and I think he'd be like the number 3 guy of all time for holding the belt consecutive days.
Yeah. So let me ask you, how long do you think The Rock's going to be around?
In the ring, not that long. His window is closing. The reason why, he's Hollywood, man.
Yeah, but I mean, he could
show up, make an appearance, but if he gets a match, it's gonna be like a tag match.
I will say his appearances, he seemed pretty hyped about it. Like, like as he like comes out and he's like, yo, I'm home.
Showing you the goosebumps and everything.
I'm home.
Yeah.
Like I think that's genuine. I don't think he's just doing that. Like I think he's like, yo,
you can't make that up.
Because he doesn't do that in front of people. He does that in front of cameras. And yeah, people will watch us, The Rock.
Yeah.
But to do it in front of the most electrifying crowd in sports entertainment, he's probably like, man, I might miss this. So just curious, he's what, 50 or so?
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, that man's in better shape than I am. Like,
Yeah, but there's a difference between being in shape and in ring shape. The last time he was in the ring, I believed he pulled a groin or
Yeah.
something, and delayed his movie
Oh,
for
really? It
shooting.
was like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So like, all right, like you got to pick and choose. So
So yeah, we'll talk more about your podcast. So yeah, you said that you and Abel we'll talk stuff on the truck, and he said, let's do it in front of the camera. How did John get looped into that? How do you even know John? I'm just curious.
wrestling fans know how to interact with wrestling fans.
Yeah.
It just you say a keyword and that's what happens. So I was in Staples one day trying to just get some ink.
Yeah.
This man was working at Staples and he sold me a printer. And then we were just talking. He's like, "You should get this printer. This does this, and this." In the back of my mind, I'm not getting this printer. I just want some damn ink, and that's all I want.
Yeah.
He said, I let my folks know that I made it safely to my destination. I went down to Dallas. I said, "Oh yeah, making small talk. What were you doing down there?" He said, "I went to WrestleMania," and then
That was it.
that was it.
Did you guys like exchange numbers or like hug it out? Like how did you guys do that? Like did you start seeing him once a week at Staples?
That I really don't remember. I don't know.
Or
just told me
you guys Facebooked each
I
other.
think we just linked up through Facebook or whatever, and that was it. And then
Yeah.
and then how the whole podcast started is I just moved to my new crib and
Over here on Coleman?
on Coleman,
Yep.
and unloading the truck, and he happened to just be walking by, just going for just a
Does he live in London?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was just going for a casual stroll. He's trying to lose some weight. I said, "Oh, what you doing?" He's like, "Just walking." I said, "Oh, you want to lose some weight? You might as well come help me move some boxes in." And then,
Jesus.
and then that was it. And then, yeah, because Abel and I was talking about it. I'm like, "Yo, we need to have a third guy." We was thinking about somebody else that we know. We was thinking about possibly having Eddie from the Blue Duck, but Eddie wasn't. He was busy because he was, doing the political.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, it's a lot of things.
Political thing.
He ran for mayor for New London.
Eddie ran for mayor.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah.
No one voted for him.
I voted for him.
You voted for him?
Yeah.
Was he run as a Democrat or Republican?
Green.
Individual.
Yeah.
Sorry, independent.
Independent.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
So
Good. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Yeah. New London needs a change, but that's another story.
Coming up on Your Politics podcast.
But yeah, we needed a third guy who was like energetic and who knows the stuff.
Yeah.
Because it was just me and Abel. It was just Abel just monotone, and I didn't, it didn't break. He didn't have it yet.
I will say, you know what Abel's really skilled at? When you think about a baseball commentator, strike on the outside corner, just a bit inside. Abel is a great color commentator.
Abel is real detailed.
Very detailed.
Yes. So
and like it's not just the balls and the strikes. It's like that ball is driven deep to left. Rajay Davis is back at the track at the wall. That ball is gone into the left field bleachers. Abel is that.
Yeah. He starts off low, then he picks up.
Yeah.
Just like Jake the Snake Roberts.
Yeah.
Like he talked low and it's like complete silence in the background. And when he talks, you're going to listen.
Yeah. And I will say it's following your show and watching it, I'm like, all right, listen, that's like, it's detailed stuff that, again, going back to his analysis on the intergender matches, the handicap matches, like that's valuable content that, and he sounds good. Like
Abel knows. Yeah.
He really does. He knows his stuff, and it's fun to watch. You asked me earlier, what's my end goal with my podcast? I gave you a really answer, but I'll ask you that. What's your guys's? I know you guys, 53, 54 episodes in. What are you guys looking to accomplish here?
So we're 54 episodes in, and honestly, we don't know. This is just fun. It's not work for us,
Yeah.
The only work we have to do is just review the show, just watch the show.
Right.
If you take 2-3 hours out of your day and just watch the show, make some notes and mental thoughts and whatnot, and you're good. I don't know. I just want our following to get a little, increase a little bit. That's about it.
What kind of impact you guys are trying to make?
I can't even say we're trying to make an impact because we're just doing what we love. This is it.
Yeah. somebody mentioned to me the other day, they were like, with your podcast, you know, he goes, he said, what's your end goal? Very similar. Like, I don't know. I'm not trying to monetize it. I'm not trying to, he said, then why are you spending all your time doing this? And I said, it's a good point. It's a good
It
point.
is.
That's a good point. Because again, like you said, it's fun, but there are avenues where we can make money. Again, I'm with you though on that. Like in my short time doing it now, I've only recorded 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Well, 3. This is 4. 3.
Yeah.
Twice with you and 2 with someone else. And I'm like, hey, like, yeah, I probably could, but like, let the opportunity come if it comes.
Exactly. If I can make some money off this, and then hey, come on.
Somebody today asked me about sponsorships. I'm like, I'm only 2 episodes in. I haven't thought about sponsorships. I'm still trying to figure out how to edit this, how to edit that. Like, it took me 45 minutes to set up for this episode. Like, I'm still trying to figure it all out.
Every day I'm learning something new.
It's fun, man. It's fun to learn it.
And
you know what it reminds me of? It reminds us of our like MySpace computer days. Like the coding. We knew how to code. We knew how to code. We knew how to put music in our backgrounds. We knew how to do that. If we kept those skills in 2024, bro, we'd make some big bucks.
Who needed a top 8 when you had a top 24 on
That's
MySpace?
Right.
You broke it down.
When you broke it down, you just needed like top 24. How'd you get that? And then MySpace did it on their own. Remember that?
Yep.
Yeah, those are some good times, man. So, I had asked you this last time. I said, hey, if you were to have a guest on your show, WWE past or present, who would it be? And you said
the most electrifying man in all entertainment, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
The Rock Johnson hits you up in your DMs and says, "Hey, I love what you guys got going on. This is branded after me." Did he brand that? It doesn't matter. You said he was. Did you say he?
I'm not sure if he's
trademark.
It doesn't matter
or patented. You interview him. What are some of the things you're going to ask him?
Oh man, I would talk about his humble beginnings. I know he literally tried to do the football thing and it didn't work out for him, and he literally has $7 to his name and he made it. Like,
what do you want to know about that? Like, what do you want to know about like his early like what are some like, I guess again, you'll talk about it. What are some questions you would ask him though? I'm just curious because like,
well, from his beginnings, I'll probably ask him like, yo, how come you just didn't ask your dad to like, just like give you the rub? Like, yo, like I'm Rocky Johnson's son. Why don't you do that?
Yeah.
But I'll ask him about that. I'll ask him about his rivalry with Triple H. Like, yo, how do you really feel about this guy? Because you two came in about the same time and it just kept going back and forth.
Yeah.
That's just how it was. And, I'm like, why'd you take that Stone Cold Stunner like that? Like, why?
I would say the Stone Cold Stunner that The Rock would take is probably top number one. Vince was probably close to that because he'd be like shaking but no one took that stunner like The Rock.
I heard it was for like bet like a case of beer. Like, oh, I can take a better stunner than you. And the next you know,
they're really good friends, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's
they're good.
That is I like to hear that as a longtime fan. It's fun because I follow all the documentaries, not all of them, but I'll come across them because it's just fun to see like these guys are actually real friends.
Yeah.
One more question. Give me one more question that you think you would ask The Rock.
I would probably ask him what would be his dream match.
His dream match.
Who
he would have liked to wrestle.
Who you like to wrestle.
Who would you think? He's wrestled a lot of guys.
He did, but
or I guess let me ask you. Let me flip this around. Who would you have liked for him to wrestle?
I would have loved to see him wrestle Shawn Michaels, but
Sean didn't want you. Told me
Shawn didn't want to wrestle him.
Yeah,
Shawn would
because he was a Bret Hart guy.
Yeah,
The Rock was a Bret Hart guy.
Yeah, and Shawn and Bret, they really had beef.
This question's gonna bleed into my next segment here about your knowledge and the storylines of WWE. What didn't Shawn like about Bret?
Just like how The Rock and Triple H were on that same path to being number one.
Yeah.
It was the same thing.
Shawn had a huge ego. Like a
Yeah,
real ego,
Sean.
not like
Yeah,
a. And it's interesting because it seemed like while yes, this stuff is scripted, you really had to have like that personality to.
Sean had a huge ego. He drugs, alcohol. Do you remember when he lost his smile?
He lost his
Do you
smile.
remember that segment when he lost his
No,
smile?
no.
Well, supposedly he lost his smile. He said in an interview that he vacated the title. It was in
You have like a cocaine overdose or something.
no. So he said that he had a knee injury and he lost his smile, and basically he didn't want to give Brett the honor, give Brett the belt back. So he did that.
That's just for what? Like for what? Because and I think from what I've understood and learned about him and watching the documentary, how he spoke about his younger self is that he had a real problem.
Oh yeah,
Like Shawn Michaels wasn't just a actor. He became Shawn
became-
Michaels.
look at Ric Flair.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Ric Flair is Ric Flair. That's not Richard Fleer.
Yeah.
That's not, no. He don't know who that is.
Yeah, it's kind of scary to think that that's like what happened to and like The Rock. I feel like that's the beauty of The Rock is that he was an entertainer and that personality is still kind of his personality.
Yeah.
You know,
But they say that their wrestling character, yourself amped up, like Stone Cold Steve Austin. You don't think you see Stone Cold on his day off swinging beers, throwing them back like that, and middle finger. Nah, he's chilling, doing his own thing.
I know. I think about that like with Mankind. I'm like, man, is that guy really tapped in person? Like, is he, even back in the day, like Kane and, even Undertaker, man, like what are these guys like in real life?
It's crazy. The only person who never broke character was the Undertaker his whole career.
And you mean in like
when he was the dead man,
mm-hmm.
like, if he traveled to the next city and whatnot, he'll wear all black,
Mm-hmm.
sunglasses,
Mm-hmm.
and, he'll talk slow and whatnot. But the thing with Kane, when Kane, how he wore the mask,
Yeah.
and he's traveled city to city, it'd just be him driving, and he's with Paul Bearer, his dad. And when he gets out the car, instead of him putting the mask on, he put like a paper bag on his head just to walk inside the arena, just to sell it, like from his burns. So
I remember that. The worst thing that ever happened to me as a wrestling fan was learning that Kane's real name was Glenn Jacobs.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like as a fan, I'm like, man, Glenn Jacobs. And then that's when I realized, like, oh, him and Undertaker are really not brothers.
Do you remember Mark Mero in WWE?
Who?
Mark Mero.
No.
Sable's ex-husband.
No.
He was in WCW as Johnny B. Bad. He impersonated Little Richard.
See, I don't remember.
That was early 90s. Early 90s, late 90s.
Yeah.
And then for the longest time, I thought that dude was black. Like, he is darker than you. And this dude, he's a white dude from Albany, New York.
Oh, yeah?
He's Jewish. And I'm like, that's the greatest work of all time, because he sold it like, he was the black man. He had the perm and everything. I'm like, oh my goodness. And then Yokozuna.
I remember Yokozuna.
I thought the dude was Japanese, Chinese.
What was he? Is that a white guy?
He's Samoan.
Oh shit.
That's The Rock's cousin.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. That's Umaga.
I thought it was Asian.
That's Rikishi's brother.
For real?
Yeah.
Yokozuna.
Yeah.
It's Rikishi's brother.
Rodney.
Wow. I didn't know that. I don't know that. And he passed away a few years ago, right?
Probably
a long time ago.
Yeah,
now.
he was 34 years old when he passed.
Oh wow, that's 20 years ago probably.
Yeah.
Holy, with a heart attack or something? Probably too big. Yeah, he's a huge guy.
It was crazy. He started in the business. He was like 400 plus, and then
oh god,
like every year his weight just kept getting bigger.
Yeah. You can't be living that kind of life.
Definitely
not. So we, the one a storyline, and I wanted to ask you this. So when Shawn Michaels broke from Marty Jannetty, and I don't remember what was that, WrestleMania, right before WrestleMania?
I can't tell you the time, but he broke up with Marty Jannetty in the barbershop.
Was that real or was that scripted? Because it's because in the documentary between the two of them, it seemed like Marty was taken by surprise.
It was scripted.
You think it was okay?
It was scripted because they had two good talents right there between Marty Jannetty and Shawn Michaels, and they both, they want to see, okay, who's like the next guy we can push,
Right.
and they figured Shawn be that guy.
Yeah.
Shawn could be that next heel, whatever, because they're at the point where they're getting rid of. They're phasing, Hogan and all the older heads out, like Savage and whatnot now. So they need like another heel, whatever.
This is in the early 90s.
Early
right?
90s. Yeah. So, even back in the day when they had like WWF magazine, whatever, they used to say, they had like tension. The tag team match and I accidentally hit you, something like that. Oh, what the hell's going on? Something like that. Yeah, it was all scripted.
Those WWF magazines had everything that you needed. And I can remember you got the pictures of Sable, you got, pay-per-view previews and recaps and, and it just was a good quality magazine. I remember having like this, again, my memory is faded, but I remember just like excited every week. Oh, the magazine's out. Remember the magazine aisles they used to have back in the day, like in the Stop and Shops?
Yeah. You don't see that anymore.
Because you got the internet. Like, who needs? You got the Twitters, you got the Instagrams, you got the.
I would buy it.
Oh, 100% would buy it.
I would definitely subscribe.
Well, I mean, probably not because I not a WWE one. Maybe not even baseball. I get all that content right in front. My phone.
Yeah, the internet just killed everything. Back in the day when we was in high
They're
school,
probably valuable if you have any of them. I'm sure you can get.
I found plenty of them, and I'm like, all right.
You get them sealed up, and if they're in good condition, you probably could resell them or at least keep them. Because I mean, especially with the older ones, like during the Attitude Era. So what's your favorite? What's your favorite rivalry? And of all time, when you think of rivalries, so you got a ton of them. You got the most notable for me, I think, is Stone Cold and The Rock.
Stone Cold, Rock. You got Stone Cold and Mr. McMahon.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You got Rock and Triple H. You have Undertaker and Kane.
Which one's the longest? Which one's the longest rivalry? I feel like, I mean, again,
Austin and Vince.
That's the longest rivalry.
Yeah.
Huh? Wow. How long do you think that went for?
From 97 till
to this day.
To this day, yeah, basically.
It's funny. Wow, that's crazy. I love the tag team rivalries were always fun. When you had, the Dudley Boys and the Hardy Boys and Edge and Christian, TLC, and I feel like, I don't know if you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but you had Scotty 2 Hotty and they would, what was the other guy? Grandmaster P, right?
Master Sexay.
They'd somehow loop themselves into it. You got Road Dogg and Billy Gunn. You had that one. You had Michaels and Triple H. But then, they went on their own path.
It's crazy because like the 80s is all tag teams. The 90s tag teams. The early 2000s, a lot of tag teams. And then after that, they didn't care.
No.
It'd be like you and the dude walking down the street will put you together. Like they didn't care about tag teams. And I love tag team wrestling because that's where you figure out like who is going to be, your go-to guy.
Yeah. People
always say like, oh, who's the Marty Jannetty of the group? Because, Marty Jannetty's career didn't really parallel to Shawn Michaels' career, but
because he wasn't doing cocaine. Well, I guess he was probably doing cocaine.
Marty Jannetty's a whole other story. If you ever get a time just to sit and watch TV, go on Vice and look up Dark Side of the Ring. Like it will tell you. Yeah, it'll tell you some stuff, and it's coming from like wrestlers.
I have to check. I have to take a peek at that.
Like
it's on YouTube or on
you can find it on YouTube
because they have a channel on YouTube.
Yeah, and the new season's coming out next week actually, and the last episode of season 4 or 5 of it is Marty Jannetty, and Marty Jannetty, he has like so many stories. And it's like I don't know. Like I met Marty Jannetty, so
you did?
I met him in Waterbury
recently.
Yeah, it was a couple of years ago, and Marty Jannetty, it was like he's strung out. It seemed like
he's that fucked up.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I guess some news broke the other day that supposedly he's about to get his foot amputated.
Oh, he's jacked up.
He's all messed up, man.
Oh, damn. Yeah. That's crazy. Is there a storyline that, obviously we got the Attitude and Ruthless Aggression. that would fit into this era of wrestling?
Well, from back in the day.
Yeah. Is there? What do you think? I'll tell you what I think. Go ahead on the question. I'll tell you what I think, and you can let me know.
Just from you saying that, yeah, it could definitely happen because now it's more like realistic base.
What do you mean?
It's like the real life, like real life drama could just happen. So I'll say if you want to take something from back in the day, you could take Hulk Hogan and Macho Man Randy Savage when when Hogan had lust in his eyes for Miss Elizabeth.
Okay. I mean, that's just been around for decades, though.
Yeah, you get love triangles all the time.
Yeah.
You do something like that.
But when I think about, so when I ask, like, do you think, I think about, so what was the Evolution that I love? I don't know why I love the Evolution. When Randy Orton first came out and, Batista, Triple H, and Ric Flair, could they fit into today's product?
Yeah. Yeah. So, all right, I'll give you an example. So, Evolution, you had.
This was Ruthless Aggression time.
That was Ruthless Aggression time. It'll fit because you had the guy who was killing it at the time, who was Triple H. You had your veteran, who was Ric Flair. And then you have two up-and-coming talent, which was Randy Orton and Batista. So if you wanted to do that in present day, I would say you would have... He's a workhorse.
So I guess what I'm asking is, do you think those four could fit in present day?
Well, not Flair. Flair's 75 years old.
Well, right.
So
let's take age out of it.
Oh yeah, if you want to put them four
if
together?
We put them four together from 20 years ago into now, because even 20 years ago, Flair was 54.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So it's not like he was young. You know what I mean? But if you take them now, would that work?
Oh yeah, definitely. Because they would definitely give Roman Reigns and the Bloodline.
You think so?
Money. Oh yeah,
I think so.
Oh yeah, and then it will lead to Survivor Series and War Games.
Yeah. I have not even watched this episode of War Games. It's
War Games. It leads to Survivor Series, and it's 2 rings, and then you have one guy come out each time, like Randy Orton come out first, and Roman Reigns come out first. Next, you know, Batista come out first, and 5 minutes later, yes, you got the advantage. And once everybody gets in, it's first one to either pin, submit, or say I quit.
Analyze for me a current storyline that you're like, I like this. This is something that's drawn me in. What's a storyline that you're like?
Roman Reigns being the longest reign, well, the modern day, guy right now, having the championship for over 1,200 days.
So you low key want him to win. Or you wouldn't be mad if he wins. You're rooting for Cody for the sake of Cody, which goes back to what I was saying earlier. Like,
I love Cody Rhodes, and I love what they're doing because I never seen this.
Seen what?
I never seen somebody hold the title for so many days. Right. Like I seen CM Punk hold the title for like 527 days or whatever. But for over 1,300, you might break a record.
Yeah.
But it's going to be against Hulk Hogan. And I don't care what Hogan did in the past or whatever. I'm still a Hogan fan at heart. Yeah. So I just I'm like, dang, I kind of want Cody to win, but I kind of want to see Roman just to.
If he breaks it, what happens? How do you think he feels? You will feel if he breaks it.
I'll be cool with that. I'll be cool if he break it, but I'm like, all right, but how long will he keep on going? Because he still has to pass Bob Backlund, but he's not going to pass Bruno.
What did you say? All right, so what are those 2 records?
I think Backlund, is like close to 2,000 days as champ. Yeah. Bruno's like 3,000 days.
Bro, that's over 10 years.
Yeah.
What decade was Bruno?
Shoot. I think he was probably dominating like the 60s and early 70s, I want to say. I don't know.
So it was that long ago?
Yeah. Because you got to think about Hogan, he became champion in 85 or 84.
So let me ask you this. How many wrestlers were in the game then? Like to be a champion that long, there probably wasn't that many. Like
for Bruno,
for Hulk.
Hogan is to the point where at that time, the only one that was bigger than Hulk Hogan at that time was Andre the Giant, and they had that match at WrestleMania 3,
and Hogan won.
Hogan won.
Right.
And then at WrestleMania 4, Macho Man won the title. The only reason why he won the title was because Hogan went to go shoot some movies.
Of course.
So WrestleMania 5 happens. Hogan gets the belt from Macho Man. WrestleMania. So I'll tell you this. WrestleMania 1. Hogan was the champ. He faced, it was a tag team match. Don't matter. WrestleMania 2. King Kong Bundy. WrestleMania 3. He faced Andre. WrestleMania 4. That's when they had the vacant title. Because like I said, Hogan had the tournament. But he did fight in WrestleMania, but he got disqualified. Or him and Andre both got disqualified.
Yep.
WrestleMania 5. Savage. WrestleMania 6. They tried to pass the torch. They tried to give it to Warrior. It didn't work out. So he got the belt back. WrestleMania 7, he beat Sergeant Slaughter for the title. WrestleMania 8, he fought Sid Justice. Sid Vicious. But he wasn't champion at the time. Ric Flair was the champion at the time. They're trying something different. Like, all right, we got to get this belt off Hogan.
Yeah.
WrestleMania 9, the main event was Bret and Yokozuna in Las Vegas. And
that's random.
And Yoko won the title. Okay, you cheated. Next thing, Hogan just comes out, his leg drop.
It steals the title.
They give him the title. Yeah,
what?
They give him the title.
No way.
So
that's
Hogan
crazy.
ran a decade of WrestleManias.
Wow,
a decade of WrestleManias
as a champion.
As a champ.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy. We got. Give me a dream match. Give me a dream match. Whether so I'm gonna break it down this way. We're gonna break it down to wrestlers. First of all, let's break it down to main event.
Okay.
WrestleMania is the Super Bowl, right?
Yes, it is.
WrestleMania is the World Series. WrestleMania is Augusta. WrestleMania is the World Cup. So at WrestleMania, we got a main event. Wrestler past or present, so it could be 2 present, 2 past, or 1 present, 1 past. Okay. So give me your dream match. Give me the type of match. Okay. And then what stipulations of that match? So is it a single man? Is it a Iron Man? Is it a whatever, whatever it is? So give me those 2. What's your dream match with those scenarios?
That's a tough one. But I would have to say if it's a WrestleMania main event, it has to steal the show. I would probably have to say Hulk Hogan.
Okay.
And I will have to say John Cena.
Hulk Hogan and John Cena.
I would have to say that.
Which Hulk Hogan? The American hero?
The real American. Yeah.
Gotcha. The real American.
Yeah, real American. I would have to say that.
And Thugonomics or...
Nah,
yeah.
So...
Thugonomics is a fucking great
I'll give you the Hogan that never really lost when he held the title.
Yeah.
And then John Cena when he, after Ruthless Aggression, he just held that title and never lost. Like you put a vacant title on the line. The fans, they were trying to, they weren't really forcing Cena on us, but he won every month and we just got tired of Cena. Yeah. Like, all right, give me that Cena and give me that Hogan. Duke it out.
That's great. That's great. I love that. So I'll give you mine. So, and again, with my limited knowledge, I will say, I watched WrestleMania last year, and I watched WrestleMania mainly because we went to Boston. We went to Boston. I got kind of hyped. I was hyped for that short period of time. Pretty much as hyped as I've gotten about this podcast. So hopefully this doesn't fizzle as much as wrestling did. We'll hopefully won't. I love the Seth Rollins intro. I love that.
You like that?
Not because of him, but because of the people around.
Yeah.
Man, that thing is great. I didn't watch his match though. I watched the intro. I got to keep it classic for me. It's got to be Rock has to be in the main event. Rock and we didn't even talk about this on the storylines, this is not even about the matches, but I want to bring this back before we wrap up, and we got about 10 minutes left or so. I, I want to see a classic Rock and Austin match. That's just for me.
One more time?
One more time. I would love to see that. It doesn't have to be at WrestleMania. But it has to be at a relevant wrestling, pay-per-view event. Something that if WWE said, "Hey, The Rock and Stone Cold are fighting again," I would watch all day. And I don't think I'm the only one that says that.
Oh no,
I don't think I'm the only one that feels that way. I feel like people would go and watch. But a storyline we didn't talk about, and I'll go to my next segment. We didn't talk about this time. We didn't talk about last time. We talked about the first time. The Rock and Sock connection. Oh my God.
I just watched them. We just reviewed them on WrestleMania 20 when they fought Evolution in a handicap match.
Oh my, what a time. That was great. And again, I could remember vividly. So this was, and you correct me if I'm wrong, so this was Evolution. So this was this Sport Suit Rock? This was not Sport Suit Rock.
This is past Hollywood Rock. No more. He just came. Well, what you talking about? Like the
he used to wear like the black shirt and like the like long pants with the stripes on the side.
Yeah,
the tracksuit Rock.
Nah, he just had his trunks. His trunks.
He would always look at that Mankind and be like, I remember like this thing.
Yeah.
That was a storyline that I enjoyed because they were rivals up until that point. And they were still rivaling during that point as well. The one thing I find hilarious is the mandible claw. How he put his fingers in people's mouths and they just be like,
"That move's stupid." I don't know why.
That was a stupid move,
people
bro.
Just bite his fingers.
Didn't he have another move? He had one more move, didn't he?
He had a DDT.
The DDT. He should have just stayed with the DDT. The mandible claw was just...
It was terrible.
Terrible. And then you had the sock. The sock was better as a mandible claw.
Yeah.
But still.
But back in the day, he had like this like cardboard thing on his two fingers.
Yeah, that's right. No, I don't even know if it was a splint. He had a splint on his hand.
Splint, yeah. It was straight, but I don't know why people just didn't bite his finger. Like
you just pass out like there's just some like laughing gas or something. So that's that was fun. The WWE stuff was fun. We got about 5-10 minutes left. So you got some sports moments. Top 3 sports moments of your fandom.
Braves winning the World Series a couple years ago.
2021.
Let's see.
You got to see a Super Bowl, but you didn't get to see one.
I seen 2 Super Bowls with the Falcons, but
what was the other
98.
one? 98.
I remember it, but yeah, we didn't win. So.
Yeah.
I have to say, my man Kobe being inducted to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
It's,
post.
It's sad.
R.I.P.
And let's see, one more moment. Let's see. Oh, when LeBron, the most points?
That was a day before. Wasn't that a day before Kobe died, or a day after Kobe died? Or was that recent?
It was like 2 years ago.
Yeah,
about 2 years ago. So yeah,
it was 2. Yeah, Kobe's been dead for 4 years. That's wild.
Yeah.
All right. So, what do we got here? Give me position players. Let's build your dream team by position.
All right. Baseball.
Okay. Yeah, no, I can't. Football, basketball, no.
Yeah.
Basketball's like, it's just going to be easy to do.
Yeah.
Baseball, give me your 1 through 9. We'll do positions.
Okay.
We can do 1 pitcher, 1 catcher, and then 1 closer.
All right.
So it's 10 players.
Okay.
So go.
Say position. I'll spit it out. Pause.
Catcher. Pause.
Catcher. I will have to say Pudge Rodriguez.
Okay. First base.
Freddie Freeman.
Second base.
Second base. I was always a fan of Alfonso Soriano.
Shortstop.
Rafael Furcal.
Wow. That was not expecting that. Third base.
Chipper Jones.
All right. Left field.
Gary Sheffield.
All Braves. Center field.
Well, he's right field. I'll say Andrew Jones.
All right.
Right field,
Acuna.
Ronald Acuna. Yeah.
So all right. So we got the Braves all locked up here.
Nah, you got two people that wasn't Braves.
Oh.
Pudge and Soriano.
Okay. Whatever. They're Yankees. All right.
And my pitcher, John Smoltz.
Okay.
That was my guy.
And reliever, John Smoltz.
Nah, because he was on the Red Sox at the time. For reliever, ooh. Let's see. That's a good one. Reliever. Man, that's actually a tough one. I don't know for reliever because I had a few.
You guys have some.
We had some relievers, but Craig Kimbrell.
Yeah, I feel like that's the only name that you can remember.
No, I was thinking John Rocker.
You picked Kimbrell over John Rocker? Kimbrell was only there for like a year or two.
You talking about players that I like because I used to like this man.
Your dream team though, Rocker used to come out and just like
talk mad.
But anyway, okay,
talk mad shit.
You're right. That's your team. That's your dream team. That's your dream.
Yeah,
team.
who would be yours? All right, I'm gonna ask you the same question.
Okay.
All right, pitcher,
Roger Clemens,
catcher.
I probably would go Pudge as well.
Third,
A-Rod.
Short,
my man Jeter.
Second.
No.
Okay. First.
First baseman, I probably would say Freddie Freeman.
In the outfield?
Where?
Left field.
Left fielder, left fielder. Shit.
Right field.
Hold on. Let's start right field first.
Judge.
Yeah, I mean, Judge is the new guy, so I'd put him there. But I mean, I had Paul O'Neill out there. I'd probably put Acuna over Judge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Center.
Trout.
Left.
Left field. Left field's such a weird position. I feel like you just never see it on TV. It's always like right field or center. It's always just like
seriously.
I don't even know.
Bryce Harper.
No, he's right fielder.
Actually, no, he's first base now.
Now he's first base.
Yeah, he's first base.
I can't. Brett Gardner. Just because
Gardy.
Yeah, Gardy. I loved watching Gardy play.
Yeah, I surprised you with that for a call.
Huh?
I know I surprised you for a call.
You definitely surprised me for a call. For closer, I got to go Mariano. Reliever, Mariano, greatest of all time. Leads and saves. Yeah. I don't think that number is ever going to be broken again. But yeah, that was that. You know what's interesting, and I'm going to talk about this with Rajay. Did you know? And I'm gonna ask him this. When Barry Bonds broke Hank Aaron's record, Rajay was at that game on that roster.
I did not know that.
Yes, he was. I remember. I was like, "Oh, Rajay's at that game."
How do you know that?
San Francisco. I followed Rajay when he came up. It was in 06 or 07. He came over with the Pirates. He got traded to the Giants, and this was during the run for Barry Bonds breaking Hank Aaron's 755. He had 756, and Rajay was on that squad.
Wasn't he on Oakland at one point too?
So Rajay was on,
because if he was in Oakland, I seen him.
He was on Oakland.
I went to Oakland too. That's another state I went to.
He was on the Pirates.
Yep.
He was on the Red Sox.
Was he?
Yes, he was. Not last year, like two or 3 years ago.
Indians, Guardians, whatever.
Indians at the time.
Yeah.
He was on the Mets. He was on the Blue Jays. He was on the Giants. He was on the Tigers.
Damn.
Oakland Athletics. I thought he was on the Braves, but I don't think so. You would know if he was on the Braves. I think that's it.
So who do you think is the best player that came out of Connecticut?
The best player that came out of Connecticut. It could have been Matt Harvey.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It could have been Matt Harvey, and it's unfortunate because his career went into
The Dark Knight, living the dark times.
Yeah, that man was he was solid. But Jeff Bagwell's from Connecticut, which I believe Jeff Bagwell's a Hall of Famer.
I believe so. And AJ Pollock.
AJ Pollock. I played golf with AJ Pollock's dad this past summer.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I was playing this. Blah, blah, blah. He's like, "Oh, what are you doing, young guy here?" I just play golf in the morning before I start work, or play 9 holes or whatever. And he's like, "You look like you play baseball." Like, yeah, I play baseball. My swing's like a baseball. Like golf swing's different. Like you gotta, it's a different swing. And he was like, "Yeah, my son's in the majors." I'm like, "Who's your son?" He's like, AJ Pollock. I'm like, "Oh shit, that's nice to meet you." So I played 9 holes with him. That was fun.
Could have been you, man. You were scouted by the Mets.
Yeah, I was scouted by yeah. It was good times. Yeah. All right, so we're wrapping up here. We'll give you a few minutes in a second here. So let's see, we've talked about a lot tonight, which is good. This is more candid than the last time. Last episode was fun, or the first episode was funny because I had the Kane impression. I'm not gonna do the Kane impression again. I've done it twice already. All right, here we go. We're gonna do a this or that like I did last time.
All right.
Let's see. I'm gonna challenge you. Royal Rumble or Elimination Chamber?
Royal Rumble.
Why?
That's my childhood right there, man. Elimination Chamber is something new.
It's not that new.
Early 2000s, but Royal Rumble back from the 90s.
War Games or Elimination Chamber?
Royal Rumble.
I just said War Games or Elimination Chamber.
Oh, I'm sorry. I heard Royal Rumble. I would say War Games.
Okay.
Unpredictability.
You like the War Games?
Yeah.
Is there a match that you wish they brought back?
No.
No, there's not. No. Like they don't. Do they still do table matches?
They still do tables, ladders.
They don't do TLC though.
They haven't had one, but they have ladder matches. They bring it out.
I liked the handicap match a lot. That brought an element of excitement, especially when the handicap person won.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. For Hogan. I think I said this last time. Hogan or Rock?
Oh shit. Ooh, I'd say The Rock.
The Rock. Okay. Sean or Brett?
Brett.
I knew that one.
All day.
Okay. We'll go baseball now.
All right.
Or sports, I should say. Braves or Falcons?
Braves.
That's good.
Besides wrestling, baseball is my first love.
Yeah. Okay. 50 Cent. I'm just joking.
It would have been 50 regardless.
That's why I said I'm just joking. All right. So let's see. We got final thoughts. So what do you think is going to happen here in WrestleMania?
Well,
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
No, seriously, I'm asking.
Well,
now, is that fake news? Is that fake news?
That's real news. So
that is real news that he's vacant.
It's gonna be attacked. Oh no, that's fake news. Oh, that's fake news. I'm assuming. So I'm assuming WrestleMania is 2 nights. I'm assuming that the first night is gonna be a tag match between your tribal chief Roman Reigns and The Rock going against Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins.
That's gonna be That's gonna be the main event
for WrestleMania Night 1.
Okay.
And then WrestleMania Night 2, you're gonna get Roman and Cody for the title.
It's gimmicky to me.
Then you also have.
All right, so So you got your predictions. What's gonna happen? So WrestleMania's coming up in 3 weeks. You think so?
About a month, yeah.
You think Cody's gonna win? You think Rock and Roman will win?
Yeah.
So listen, this is Dom from the It Doesn't Matter podcast. It was a good time. Anything you want listeners to know?
You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever platform podcast you're on that you listen to, and we're on YouTube. Every Monday we drop new content.
Where can they find you on social media?
You can find me on the It Doesn't Matter podcast on Instagram. It Doesn't Matter podcast on Facebook. IDM Pod 23 on Twitter, also known as X.
Let's go.
I'm the man behind the scenes, behind the keyboard.
Behind the keyboard.
That's it.
This is cool.